Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to just have a quick little chat with the chosen seed. If you find this resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Also, there's a new button called a hype button. So hype me up, y'all. Hype me up. If you feeling the messages that I bring in, it does help for my channel to grow. So I appreciate all of you who are, giving back, especially if you receive anything from my messages through liking, subscribing, supporting my channel, my website, getting your personal readings. Also consider, I was posting the wrong link for my website. Yeah. So it's ShaviZanesGuidance.com. The link that I was posting, I'm going to have to go back and revise it on my other videos where I left it in the comments. I appreciate those of you who have been letting me know that you haven't been able to get through on my website. That was an error on my part, and it is now being corrected. ShaviZanesGuidance.com. That's where you can go and order my products, okay? So y'all, this is really the time to get on top of manifesting and really putting forth the practical effort to meet that vision. Whatever has been holding you back, that energy is getting ready to be cleared. If you felt like things had slowed down for you, or you just couldn't quite understand what is the obstruction, what is the blockage, that energy is getting ready to be cleared. Especially if you have been putting forth dedicated effort in your alchemy and making sure that you are keeping your vibrations high despite what things look like. Because that was the smokescreen, y'all. That was the illusion. That was the trickery to make you believe that the path that you were on was in fact not the right path, just off the strength that you was not seeing a lot of growth there, or because the energy was postponed or stagnant. That was the illusion. And the reason why your spiritual team allowed this illusion to play itself out was because they wanted you to redirect your focus and to turn inward and to see, like, okay, what do I need to focus on? What do I need to clear out? And many of you have done that. If you have not done that, then it's definitely time to redirect your focus. The spell work that your enemies have been doing has only had a small impact on your frequency. But if you find that there was still certain things, still certain internal blockages, fears, vices, lack mentality, scarcity, insecurities, lack of confidence, things like that, that's the reason why the spell work had any impact on your energy or your growth. So consider, if you have been focused on clearing out that type of energy, you will now begin to see forward movement. A lot of you are getting ready to go from rags to riches. This is going to feel like an overnight turnover, especially off the strength that you felt like things were slow and stagnant. You're getting ready to go from rags to riches in a very fast time frame. It's going to seem like today you're in one space, and within the next couple of months, it's going to look totally different. Largely because those obstructions are being cleared. You're being called to really focus on your alchemy. The Most High Mother and Father and your spiritual team are presenting you with all types of clues, tools, visions, inspiration. Like, they're giving you everything that you need to take action. No one can take from you what is destined as yours. Of course, there will be copycats out here. There will be people that try to mimic you. Some of them will do it strictly because they're just encouraged and motivated by you. Others will do it because they really think that they can take your place. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't have the impact in their hands. It won't have the same impact. It won't have the same effect. It won't even have the same success. What is for you, no one can take. It's very important that you stay in alignment with your vision right now. There are people who are watching you. They're very, very curious, trying to gather information. What's your next move? What's your next plan? What are you creating now? How can they come in and try to mimic it? How can they come in to try to use that as a measure to become successful themselves? A lot of people don't have their own creative mind. They don't. A lot of people just kind of piggyback off of what they see other people do, but they don't have their own niche, their own thing. And if they do have it, they're not confident enough in it to feel like it will have any level of success. And so often they go and, try to pick and see, okay, well, what can I do that person has done? And it's nothing wrong with feeling inspired. It's one thing to feel inspired. It's another thing to literally try to copy somebody else. But consider what you are working on is very unique. Only you can bring it forward the way that you do. So this is the time of really, really aligning yourself with the frequency of your vision. Is it big? If you got a big vision, then you got to have big energy. And so in order to have big energy, you got to do a whole lot of clearing out of internal blockages and obstructions so that you have the room to expand. And as you expand, so does the potential for that vision to come into fruition. So just know that, yes, there are people that are watching you very, very closely. So you want to be very discerning about who you're talking to and what you're telling them. Because people are they're listening very, very closely to you because you are an inspiration. You possess wisdom that many of them don't have access to, largely because you have done the work. And so the Most High Mother and Father and your spiritual team recognize that you having access to this deep knowledge, this deep gnosis, right? You having knowledge and access to these things, you're not going to corrupt it. It's safe in your hands. This type of information, this wealth of wisdom is safe with you. But there are others out here who they don't have access to it because they will corrupt it. They will pervert it. They will use it for their ego. They will use it to try and misalign other people's destinies. The powers that were have been doing this for a very long time now, taking sacred wisdom and using it for selfish gains. Okay? But you're different. And so this is why you have been given the key to be able to access far more than the karmics. Like they just got a little tiny taste. Your spiritual team has given you infinite access where there is no shortage of what you can, of the wisdom that you can obtain. There's no shortage. There is no cutoff point. There is no, oh, okay, you stop right there. No. They're allowing you to dive as deep and to go as far and as wide into this thing as you see fit. So your access is completely open. So you have people who listen. They listen very, very closely to what you have to say, the dreams that you have, the messages, the visions, the spiritual downloads. They listen very closely because they're trying to see how can they mimic that energy. How can they mimic it and make it seem as if they came up with that? They thought of that first, or they already knew that. And it's like, many of the chosen seed, you all give your knowledge, you don't mind sharing your knowledge because you want to see others grow. That's the whole objective. You want to see people grow. But you also have a very discerning spirit that allows you to detect when someone is just not ready for it, when someone is only using it for selfish gain, when someone is only using it to try to one-up you because they're in competition with you but don't want to admit to that. You know how to discern and detect who's who and what's what. And so you're being called to be very, very discerning. Some of these beings you're going to have to up and out of nowhere just leave them in a cold. And they're going to act like they don't understand, but really on a spiritual level, they do understand. They will. Even on a conscious level, many of these beings will know exactly why you are going to discard that friendship or that relationship or that family dynamic. They're going to be very clear about it because they know the nefarious motives that they had behind the scenes that they was not openly speaking about, but they were secretly strategizing and conspiring against you. So when you make that cut, you're going to find that a lot of the things that you have been hoping to come into your life is going to start flooding in like a levee is broken. Okay, like a river that was obstructed begins to flow after those, your boulders and things get removed out of the way. Like, you're getting ready to see a major breakthrough as a result of cutting certain people out of your life that you already intuitively detected didn't have your best interest at heart. Now, will this lead to them trying to do more spell work to maybe pull you back in or to try to block you because they don't want to see your forward movement? Of course. Will this lead to them gossiping and trying to slander your name, trying to make you look like a bad person or making people think that you were in fact the one that was doing XYZ? Of course. Why wouldn't they? Because it's always been about them trying to take your position in the first place. So they're going to project what they was doing off onto you and make it seem as if you were the one that was doing exactly what they have been doing. But it's not going to work, because your character has been firmly established. Firmly established. Like, you've literally, you know how on the what is that thing where the people in Hollywood go and they put their, is it their handprints or their footprints inside of the cement? It's like one of those things where you have already, it's been cemented, it's been firmly placed. Like, it ain't going nowhere. It's not going nowhere. People know who you are. Okay, your true essence, your true nature has already been firmly established in the eyes of those who matter. And so these karmics will try and tarnish that, because they've had an obsession, a really unhealthy obsession with you specifically, chosen. And this has been going on for far longer than you know. Very unhealthy obsession. And I mean, considering that the chosen, see, you are not just any mere mortal. You are not just any human being, okay? You are a spirit having a human experience, but you are so in tune with the spiritual nature of who you are that even how you project yourself as a human is not average. The way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you respond to things, your aura, when you walk into a room, everything about you is very, very mysterious, very unique, and it's not average. So with that being said, you can kind of understand why people will gravitate towards you, and even it sometimes become a little obsessive. But these karmics are on a whole nother level with it. A whole nother level with it, to the degree where they ain't got no act right in them. They don't have no act right in them. So they're out here doing a lot of foolish things. And it's getting ready to backfire on them in ways that they don't even see coming. The absence of your energy, first and foremost, is getting ready to create this boomerang effect where what was sent towards you, it automatically comes back towards them, because you're no longer present. You no longer have that umbilical cord to them that allows them to access your energy, or to siphon from your energy, or to access what's on your mind or what's on your heart or what you're going through. They're not going to have access to any of that. And so because they're not going to have access to you, spiritually, they also will not have access to you. And so even though they're going to go harder with their spell work to try to block you, every single spell that they do against you, they will be doing it against themselves. For most of you, this was the final piece to you seeing forward movement in your circumstances. For most of you, this was the final piece. The final piece literally looks like things progressing for you out of nowhere. Like I said, after you release this person. I'm going to pull some cards here before I close out, because I want to see if we can tap into the nature of this person so that you're clear. I feel like I said, most of you are pretty aware of who this is. Okay, most of you are pretty well aware of the energy of this individual. 10 of Wands. Whoever this is, y'all got to excuse my hands are dry because I just washed them. I ain't put no oil on them, y'all. You know, I don't like no ashy skin. I don't like to be ashy. But anyways, yeah, you know what? Now that makes sense. This person is ashy. Whoever this person is, they're very ashy. They don't take care of their skin. All you got to do is just scratch it a little bit, and it's like a chalkboard. They're ashy. That's number one. Number two, the Ten of Wands. It's burdensome having them in your energy. It's like you feel like you're carrying a load. It's like every time they come in, it's like you feel heavier, you feel more tired. It's almost like they trauma dump, or they come in and try to bring a certain type of frequency into your energy, and it's like, oh my gosh, no. The King of Cups. I feel like you do care for this person, okay? You do care for this person, so it could be kind of difficult letting this person go, but that's the key. That's why it's the key to your next level up, because it's one of the biggest tests, maybe even one of the hardest, that you will have to pass in order to see the next level up in your life. So you do care about this person. Seven of Wands. But you also recognize that you have to protect your energy with this particular individual, okay? I don't know. It's just, you feel like you have to, like, if this is someone where by the time y'all get off the phone, you feel like you got to do some burning and releasing, you feel like you got to sage, you feel like you got to woosah, take some deep breaths. Or if you feel, another thing that I heard is, if you feel like the attacks become stronger, spiritual attacks, because many of the chosen, by now you've been going through spiritual warfare for so long that you know when a negative energy is being sent your way. Like, there's just something that you feel, you just know, right? If you feel that at that point you got to start calling judgment, you got to start burning and releasing, you got to get your energy back right, even if you don't identify that this person is sending you negative energy, but you just feel like there's a surge of negative energy that's being sent your way not too long after communicating with this person, that's another way that you will know. Look at that, Five of Swords. Five of Swords, okay? It's because this person is in competition with you. Whoever this person is, you care about them, but they're in competition with you. And you're starting to get this intuitive nudge that you should say less. You're starting to get this nudge that you should say less to this person. You should disclose less information to this person. But I feel that because you cared about them, you might have expressed too much. The Five of Swords is someone who's trying to win at all costs. This person is very manipulative, very competitive, okay? They have this strong desire to one-up you, because the Seven of Wands energy is showing that you have a pretty strong position. You are the type of person where whoever this other person is, they recognize that you are very much so a leader, very much so a spiritual warrior. You are very much so a fighter. You don't give up on anything. And so I feel like this person, they admire those qualities to a fault. Like, the things that they admire about you, they also hate about you. They hate that you possess those qualities because they want them. So if you sense that this person is in competition, or if this person just seems like they try to take what you're doing and they try to remix it, or they try to take what you're doing and they try to run with it without acknowledging you, without saying, oh, okay, yeah, you know, I got this particular vision or creative idea because you motivated me, you encouraged me. If they just come out like they just got the thought out of nowhere, like, yeah, I just realized that, what? And you're like, hold on, but I've been doing that. Like, what? Oh my goodness. So the Five of Swords, this person wants to win. See, Page of Pentacles, they're learning from you. That's the thing. This person, they learn from you. It's almost like they're your student. In some cases, this could be a student of yours, right? Or they could have started off as a student learning from you. But it's like the student that became so obsessed with the teacher that they turned around and tried to take the energetic signature of the teacher and say, but I'm the one that already knew this. You didn't teach me anything. You didn't guide me. You didn't inspire me. I already XYZ. When in fact, why the hell people, you know, sometimes people get on my damn nerves with this parallel parking. It's like, what are you trying to prove? The damn spot is little as hell. I don't like people trying to back in front of my damn car. Like, what? Go somewhere else. Oh, mother and father. Anyways, maybe that's what it is too. It's like this peacocking thing. Like, stop trying to fit in places. If you don't fit, then you just don't damn fit. And see, they had to drive off. It's like, what are you doing here? If you don't fit, then you just don't fit. And I feel like this person, they've been trying to fit into spaces that it was never meant for them to fit. They've been trying to squeeze their big ass into your space. And I'm not talking about size, okay? I'm not talking about people's size at all. I'm talking about they're trying to squeeze this big ego into this space that's been crafted and created for you specifically, chosen. When there is a space that is already meant for them, but for whatever reason, they want your spot. But they're going to keep on trying, just like that person that was trying to parallel park with that big ass car. They're going to come to the realization that it ain't for you. It's not for them. It was not meant for them. It's meant for someone else who is more suited, and that someone else is you. What other qualities? The Tower. You're going to find that this person experiences a lot of tower moments. Okay? Every time you look up, it's extreme things. These ain't no small towers. Like, this person, they be going through it. And I think that's why it's so burdensome with that 10 of Wands, where, you know, this person always has like different scenarios. It's very, very disruptive, very, very chaotic, karmic even. It's like, damn, you got that type of situation going on? Like, why is it so bad? Why is it so crazy in your life? The Tower. Let me clarify this Tower real quick. So the Tower is clarified by the Strength card. Wow. And the Three of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. So many of these beings will go through ego deaths, okay? These towers are very painful. And I feel like they come in to try to lean in on your strength here. But this is really, what I'm finding though, is that you may even see a pattern. You may start to notice, pay attention, pay very close attention. You may start to notice that every time you call judgment, that person end up in some shit. And it ain't that you calling judgment on them, because I always tell y'all, don't put nobody's name on anything. Light your candle and write on your candle, I declare and decree the highest form of righteous judgment upon all of my enemies, known and unknown. I declare and decree righteous judgment upon all of my enemies, known and unknown, in spirit and in flesh. I declare and decree righteous judgment upon all my enemies, known and unknown, in spirit and in flesh. Give thanks to the Most High Mother and Father and your spiritual team, and let them do the rest. You do the light lifting, they do the heavy lifting. You might find that every time you call judgment, because for me, I do it every week. Every week. So my enemies, they got about a few days in between before that ass gets taxed. So whatever they do, that destructive energy comes through and it hits them hard, real hard. So you might find that you may call judgment this week, and it's not too long after, like a week, 2 weeks later, this person got another chaotic event, something that's shaking them up. It's largely because they're doing things against you behind the scenes, and they are one of your enemies that you are not consciously aware of. But you sense something. You sense something, but they haven't given you direct, tangible evidence to prove that they really have it out against you. They're really in competition with you. They're really sending negative energy towards you, hoping that you do not continue to, you know, grow, to expand, to maintain your success and things of that nature. Pay attention to the pattern. Let's see what else. Hold on, y'all. My cards just fell. Okay. I've been doing a lot of working out, so my muscles are sore. When I tell you they sore, I do mean they are sore. So yes, the Ten of Pentacles. You may even find that this person knows that you're going to be very, very wealthy and successful. They already have a glimpse of your current success, right? So your current success could look like you're growing, you're thriving, you're becoming more knowledgeable, you're more creative, you're taking passionate action towards your goals. In other cases, you're starting to see the fruits of your labor, like they've watched you level up. And so they know that success is inevitable for you. Pay attention to the subtle ways that they express their disdain for your success. Hey, baby.
Mommy, I have 88 bobcats.
Very good. Very good. Go get your siblings. Put your book bag in the back. I'm recording right now. Get your siblings.
There's still one there.
I know that.
Then how am I going to get them?
Well, just go play then.
No.
So you may find that they'll have, there's going to be subtle things that they do. Like if you say, ooh, I'm so excited about this, it might be like, oh, that's good, you know. But it's going to be this thing that you just pick up on that says, oh, they're just saying that because that's the right thing to say. But they're not really happy for you. If you're telling them about a new connection, it's like they don't really want to receive that this could be the one. Or if you're telling them about a new creative project or unexpected wealth that dropped in or anything like that, you're going to get signs. Whether it's in their body language or whether it's just in their tone or whether it's in their silence. Sometimes it's in what a person does not say that speaks louder than what they do say. So pay attention to that. The Magician is here. You are going to definitely recognize that every single time you call something in, every time something opens up for you, something crashes for them. Every time something opens up for you, something crashes for them. You know, I ain't about to go there. Nope, I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Seven of Pentacles. So here goes somebody else trying to parallel park. Now see, they didn't even park the car all the way. They made sure that half of the car is sticking out in the street. Because they know good and damn well they ain't got no business trying to park right here yet again. It's that type of thing where I'm telling you. But as I was saying, you're going to notice that every time there's a level up for you, there's a setback for them. I'm telling you. Every time you see a manifestation coming to fruition, you're going to notice another setback for them. Eventually, you're going to get to the point where you've paid enough attention. You've seen enough signs and synchronicities and patterns to where it's like you're sure that who I'm identifying here in this message is in fact that person that you need to cut off. And eventually you will. And what's going to happen as a result of that is once you cut them off, you're going to notice that everything changes for you. Everything begins to open up for you. Everything flows freely for you. And that's when I'm sure you'll end up making the, in some cases, very tough decision to completely keep that person out of your energy. For real. Now, in very few cases, that person may end up healing way down the line. Way, way, way down the line. Because consider their ultimate goal is to not see you thrive. They don't want to see you win. They're in so much competition with you that it's no room for both of y'all to win. They're like, no, I can't win and she can't win, or I can't win and he can't win. No, we can't win together. No, not. That's how they think. We can't win together. Because in their mind, as long as you're winning, they're losing. So that type of energy is not the type of energy that you want to welcome back into your life. You will begin to thrive when you release that person. So I'm going to take one more card, y'all, and I'm going to close out. 3 of Cups. You will end up attracting your tribe. Don't worry about the quantity. It's all about the quality. So if you find that this person, if it turns out that this is a false friend that's been in competition with you, let them go. Let them go, and know that you are going to attract like-minded people who celebrate your victories with you. Why? Because you celebrate their victories with them, and there's no room for competition in that type of circle. It's all about finding ways to help the other person to advance. And the sad part is that whoever this person is, you cared enough about them to try and give them guidance on how they too could advance. You cared enough about them to attempt to do that. You have. And rather than this person seeing it as, okay, well, they have good nature, they have good intentions, you know, seeing your intention, seeing your good nature, they said, well, no, I'm going to take all of that advice. I'm going to use it for myself. Not only am I going to use it for myself, but I'm not even going to give this person credit for what they have taught me, what they have guided me. You know, I'm just going to pretend that I pulled it from the thin air, that I'm receiving these divine messages, and I'm going to use I'm going to use their tactics. Like they're saying they're going to use your tactics chosen to evolve past you. So you will attract your tribe. Even if you have to get down to no friends, nobody in your inner circle, be okay with that. Because the amount of wealth and success and creativity and courage and confidence and forward movement and growth that you're going to see in their absence will make up for a false friend any day. You ain't even going to miss their presence, because you're going to be well occupied basking in your success. So that's my message for you all. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to y'all next time.